Should the Cleveland Browns extend Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward? That's what we're talking about here on today's episode. But you know what? I'm going to make you get a little bit tough in here. I want you to pick only one to extend. Let's just say you can only extend one player. Would it be Baker Mayfield? I want you to type BM. Or if you think it's Denzel Ward, I want you to type DW. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is because Browns general manager Andrew Berry was talking about Baker and was talking about Denzel Ward and said both of those players have really done a nice job for us over the first 3 years. We view both of those guys as young players who continue to ascend, which I agree with. But the biggest reason why we're also talking about this is because both Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward, the Browns decided to exercise their fifth-year option. So, with them exercising the option, that doesn't mean that they're 100% coming back. It also doesn't mean that they're going to let them go. But the bottom line is this, that still they're not 100% sold. So when you think about Baker Mayfield coming off, I'll say, the best year of his career, and I actually don't really think it's close. He got a lot of hype when he was a rookie, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. But this past year, didn't light it up in terms of yards, but he played much more controlled football and didn't turn it over. As soon as he stopped turning the football over and started to realize that, damn, I got a hell of a defense and I got a hell of a running game, that's when they started to win football games. Also, Denzel Ward is also a very talented player. 46 tackles last year, 2 INTs, 18 pass breakups, only 24 years old. And I'll tell you what, I am really excited to see what Ward's going to be able to do because now he's got Myles Garrett. But if Jadeveon Clowney can get his shit together, then I'll tell you, Ward is going to be putting up some sick numbers. The other reason why this is kind of fun to talk about is because when I first saw it, I was like, wow, I forgot that both of these players were drafted in the top 4 of the 2018 NFL draft. And we were kind of joking around, producer Sam and I, about some of these players because, the Browns, Baker, and Denzel, that was good. Saquon's an incredible athlete, but got banged up with some injuries. Sam Darnold, he's already on a new team. And then Bradley Chubb, definitely a really, really good player. But at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to believe that the Browns at one point had, now that we're doing all this draft talk, 2 picks in the top 5. So here's why we're talking about this. Because Mary Kay Cabot basically also goes on to say that, you have Baker, who's probably your face of your franchise, which might sound kind of weird. Also a former first-round pick in Denzel Ward. Mary Kay Cabot said that extension talks haven't begun yet. All right, well, I already showed you the quote talking about how both players are ascending players and how they want to kind of keep them around here, yet you're exercising the fifth-year option, and then also talks haven't begun. I will also say that I think talks haven't begun yet because their focus is on, the draft. After the draft, that's when the talks will usually happen. But get your votes in here. Should Cleveland extend both Mayfield and Denzel Ward? I want you to type Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. When you look at Baker Mayfield's career, 46 games, 61.9% completion percentage, 11,115 yards, 75 touchdowns, 43 interceptions. Considering the fact that he's had a very good offensive line and plenty of pieces around him, when you talk about the number 1 overall pick, I do think you're expecting a little bit more. However, I think Baker and a lot of Browns fans would say, I'm not really worried about the numbers, I'm worried about the wins, and he showed he could win last year. Denzel Ward, 37 games. This is really, really impressive production. 143 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 40 pass breakups, 7 INTs. The issue with Ward has been he'll have the occasional injury, which will linger his success. It'll also linger his ability to actually be out on the football field. But when he's been out there, he has been a very productive player, a very good all-around type of corner. So in terms of do you extend both players, I'm going to say yes. You figure out a way to obviously bring back Ward. I think Ward's probably the better player at his position, but you always have to prioritize the quarterback, especially if Baker continues to win in one of the tougher divisions. The issue is this. I am not going to break the bank on Baker Mayfield. I don't care if he was a former number 1 overall pick. I don't care if he wants a new deal like where all these top quarterbacks are. If Baker's asking for Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson type money, I'm just going to say, Baker, respectfully, I'm going to decline that. If you're going to say, okay, maybe around the $28, $29, $30 million year range, which might sound crazy to some people, but it's probably going to be around what he makes. If you disagree with me, as always, let me know down in the comments section. I'm going to be looking.